Mark, have you seen that? We'll just tidy these up, mate, and we'll be off, shall we? How does that sound? That keep forgetting he's not here. Eh? Yeah, I've heard it. Work on your own can send you crazy, but I'm not really a big believer in that, to be honest with you. But I do appreciate you coming in and give us a hand. Yeah, again, it's just a company. I mean, it really helps. Yeah, I'd love a cup of tea. Hello everybody, hope you're well. Yes, as you can see, I'm on my own. Mick's gone back to his day job, and Mark, he's poorly sick, he's put his back out. Have a guess how he's done it. Getting off a sun lounger in Tenerife. Unbelievable, isn't it? Of all the hard graft he's done here, and that's how he puts it out. Anyway, he's at home, he's resting up. Get well soon, Mark. Hopefully, he may be back by the end of this episode. Who knows? We shall see. But that's where the bad news stops, because as you can see, we have plaster, near dry plaster, on all of the walls on the wraparound extension. Look at this. We are very, very happy. Now, Mark being off has changed plans, sort of. So I've had to adapt and overcome. One thing I can't change though is the fact that the company who did the liquid screed are coming back today to sand it for us. So I've got everything out of this room as much as I dare. It's all outside into the garden, and we're waiting them to come and sand the floors. I think I just heard them pull up. So I'll go and see them, get them all set up, and I'll explain why it needs to be done. Excellent. They're here. You might be able to hear it in the background. I'll take you in now. I'll show you very quickly the process. You might have to adjust your volume levels because it's fairly loud. A couple of seconds, you'll get the point, then we'll move on. Right then, and that's what a sanded floor looks like. Riveting stuff. And the reason why that is so important to do is because this is a gypsum-based screed. And with gypsum-based screed, you get what's called, this is my understanding, you get latents that rise to the surface. And it's like a white kind of powdery layer right on the very top. Now, nothing sticks to that. That needs to be removed. So if you're having a glued down floor, like the customer's having, that needs to go in order for everything to bond into the floor that you already put on. Secondly, I believe, I've been told that that film that it creates stops the moisture, or certainly slows it down, slows the moisture down from actually evaporating from the floor and drying out properly. So for best practice, you need it sanding. It's all part of the price. You can have it done far earlier into the process, and it's just a week after it's laid, not a problem. That hasn't quite worked out here because we needed the floor to be, needed stuff on it. Anyway, it's done now, excellent. Right then, what to do now? Well, the beans Mark's off. What I was going to do, if Mark was here, because the plasterer is itching to come back and finish this job off, I was going to get this door out and then we can board that and get the plaster in to skim it. The only reason why that door's left in is because the very last really dusty part of this job was the floor being sanded, and that door is our only barrier from the dust going into the house. That's done now, that can be removed. I can't get it out by myself. Two big pieces of glass and the customer wants to sell it. I'll smash it, I'll break it, so we'll hold fire with that. So what we're going to do then? Well, from day one, the customer has always said that they're going to do all the decorating, they're going to paint it. So basically, quote-wise, what you see here with the walls, that's me done. However, I've got a spraying machine, for those of you who don't know, and I like to spray the rooms out for the customer, 2 coats of emulsion. That way the ceilings are done, the walls are primed to do whatever it is they want to do, and the finish is a little bit better than maybe leaving it to the customer who can, whatever. End of the day, people are going to walk into this house, see the finish, and then judge me on it. So I want to do the spraying myself. So I'm going to prep for that. The first thing I'm going to do is find out where the lights are and drill a little hole. So they're done. I'll go into Y a little bit later on. So I'll crack on with that and then we'll start prepping to spray paint and we'll get the spray painting done. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Everything is masked off. It does take a little bit of time, but it is well worth it, as you will see in a couple of minutes. Top tip, if you've never done this before, but you're thinking about giving it a go, mask off wherever it is you are masking off, be it a window or a door frame, with masking tape first. This is frog tape. If there's a cheaper alternative out there that's just as good, please let us know in the comments. Let's learn from it. I've got no affiliation to this stuff. It is a bit expensive, but it is very, very good. Do that first, nice and neat, wherever you want your nice and neat line to be. Then put your drop cloth, which has got masking tape already attached to it, within that masking tape. That way then you haven't got to be as neat with it. It's a lot quicker. And the masking tape on the drop cloth isn't as good as the frog tape. So it peels off quite easily, especially in the corners. And what that lets you do then is get some gaffer tape and hold these corners down, because as you spray it with paint, paint will go on it, it's inevitable. It gets heavy, and as you can imagine, it starts to peel off. So just nice and neat, and then work your way in, quite rough, gaffer tape corners, and you won't have a problem. Right then, it is emulsion anyway, so you can just wipe off, but if you can save yourself the bother, by all means. Now then, as you can see from there, I have been round and drilled a little hole through where I'm hoping, beyond all hope, the lights are going to be. The reason why I've done a little hole like that, because I don't want to take a big disc out, because that can create a bit of a dust pocket, and as you go over with the spray paint, it'll blow that dust out and it'll just stick to the wet paint. And you look a bit of a mess, and you don't want to do that. So dust is the enemy with this. Speaking of spray painters, we've got both my machines out. I've got the Wagner Pro there. That's a great piece of kit, that is. And then at the back there, I've got the Wagner Universal Sprayer, proper entry level one, that is. If you're doing this and you fancy doing your whole house or something, don't go for that one. The reason why I've got it is because I can have white emulsion in that one to do all the rooms, and then in that one I can put the bathroom paint and do this little room in here, which is ideal for that, and fence panels basically, and do this. So then I haven't got to get all the paint in that one, clean it out, use the bathroom paint, clean it out, second coat, blah blah blah. It makes it a lot easier for me. So there you go. So that's why I've done that. Right then, in terms of paint spraying, I'll put it on time lapse because it's going to be a quick one. I'm not going to rush through it and try and show off, but I am going to show you how quick it is. So I'll do the room or the job in time lapse, and I'll do this wall here in real time, and then I'll show you how long the whole thing took, and you can make your mind up whether or not it's worth it. Right then, let's get something done. Right then, one problem with spraying is it makes your hair look a lot greyer than what it actually is. As promised, I'm going to do this wall now in real time. I've got a little bit to finish off on that side, and I'll do this. See what you think. There you go. Might look a bit streaky at the minute, but we'll let that dry, and we'll see how it looks then. But just remember, it is its very first coat. Excellent. Cup of tea time. Well, before said cup of tea, I'll just show you the difference that one coat makes. No natural light in here, so not really a fair test. However, this room is, look at that. What a difference. As you saw, 27 minutes makes, all with a watered down, only by 10%, Leyland Trade Super Latex, the only paint I use for this kind of thing. Excellent, isn't it? But check out the bit of a mess that it makes. This machine, as brilliant as it is, it's a fantastic piece of kit and it is perfect for this kind of environment. However, it is more on the lower scale of professional machines, shall we say, if I can actually say it. There's no pressure gauge or anything on it, so you can't really gauge how much you're using. There's only one dial with like 5 settings on it, and I always find anything below 4 doesn't really give it enough oomph. Therefore, you do get a lot of overspray, which is evident by my forehead. So in that respect, if you're in the market of going a bit more professional, shall we say, you know, you go around people's houses that are fully furnished and whatnot, that might not necessarily be the one for you. But for this kind, for new builds, it is perfect, it really is. As is, sort of, this one. I mean, if you look how plasticky and everything, that looks right Fisher Price, doesn't it? But it does give great results if you take your time. And not that you can really see it in there. I've done that with the one coat of the bathroom paint. But it's all done. And it's a nice piece of kit, works completely differently to that one. But it's all right if you've got one room to do, as I say, a little bathroom or something, or fence panels, things like that. It's ideal. But if you're a builder and you want to give the customer a nice little, well, the best finish they possibly can, that's the machine for you. Speaking of customers, I mentioned earlier that this wasn't a part of the quote. They don't know I'm doing it. This is a surprise. I've got the machine, obviously. The paint is left over for when I did my house. So it's when I get back home from work tonight, this is what they're going to get. So hopefully they'll be happy with it. I know that these walls aren't going to stay white. However, one more coat on the ceilings. I will give the walls another coat as well. The ceilings will be done. I can cut out. Charlie can come back and fit all the spotlights. They'll be done. They haven't got to paint round them or do anything with the ceilings. They will be finished. And the walls will be sealed and they can paint them whatever colour they want. Minimum effort. And I use less paint because I said the walls are sealed. So yeah, whatever colour they do go for, they'll need less of it. So that's why I've done that. Right then, what can I do? Have some dinner, give it another coat, which I won't film because I'm painting white on white. How boring is that? I'm trying to get new subscribers, not get rid of the ones I've got. And then we will wait until tomorrow, where actually, because Mark is off, I'm going to go and do another little job elsewhere. Stay tuned. Excellent, all sorted. I'll show you in a second. But I've just had a very welcome phone call. Oh, Charlie, electrician, he's phoned up. Can I come tomorrow? I'm going at holiday end of the week. I've got a spare day tomorrow. If I can come round and help out, I'll do it. Yes, you can, Charlie. That's why it's important to keep on top of things on jobs like this. Just in case you do get a phone call like that, you can say yes. So to help him out, I am going to go around and hole saw out all of the spotlights that utilising the little holes that I did at the beginning of the episode. And to do that, I'm going to use two things. This little dust catcher thing here, over the ceiling. It doesn't go all out in your face, doesn't go all over the room. Excellent. Been around, old as the hills, nothing new there. But what you may not have seen is the hole saw itself. Now, I don't know whether you can see that. And if you can't, I will get a close-up in a bit. But there's a little spring right there, look, around the actual drill bit itself. And what that does is eliminates the age-old problem when you hole saw something out, is that the circle that you've cut out gets stuck at the bottom, at the base of the drill bit itself, and it's a nightmare to get out. You've got to keep getting the screwdriver out, and it's just time consuming. And when you've got a load of spots to do, it can take your time up. That little spring just pops them out one by one. You chuck them away and you keep going. It's good, isn't it? Unbranded, cheap Chinese thing from Amazon. Google it, you'll find one. Highly recommend it. Right then, I'll go around. Hopefully I'll find some cables. I'll show you in a second. In fact, I'll show you. There we go, look, can you see that? Right at the, keeps it right at the very top if it doesn't pop it out completely. It's good, isn't it? Quick last word on the sprayer. If you're interested, if a whetted your appetite on whether or not it's a good idea to go out and buy one, watch this video before you do. It is a comprehensive breakdown of every single aspect there is to do with that machine, how to put it all together, how to prime it, how to use it, how to best spraying techniques, how to clean it at the end of the job. All that is all detailed within that video, step-by-step guides, all chaptered, it's there. I'll also be showing you in future episodes from this series how to go around and touch up the walls that inevitably are going to get scuffed when the trades are going to come in and out now. You can't just go around with a brush or a normal roller, not now you've sprayed it, because this is textureless. If you go around with a brush, you'll be able to see the strokes. A roller will leave its texture. There's things out there to help you. If you like, subscribe, then you'll get that video in due course. Now, as you can see, I have been round and I have drilled out all the holes for the spotlights for Charlie for tomorrow. There's cables on every single hole. I've never had any doubt really. You've got to make a comprehensive plan when you're doing this kind of thing. If you're going to hide cables, you've got to go to find them again. You don't want to drill a hole, the cable's not there, and then you're fishing around with, I don't know, if it's a wall tile or something, trying to find out some kind of amateur. You know what I mean? It's you've got to be a bit more professional about it, especially when you put stuff on YouTube. So yeah, so make your plan, stick to it, and trust it. So there you go. Right then, let's see what tomorrow brings. And tomorrow has brought me to the royal town of Sutton Coldfield. They love the R word around here. Right then, as you can see, I've just done this little job for a mate of mine, and it's posed a bit of an interesting question. I've made a little video on it. I'm going to be putting it out this coming Wednesday. So subscribe, hit the bell, you'll be notified about it. Yeah, I need your advice on something. Right, anyway, on to tomorrow. And it's tomorrow again. These days are flying past, don't they? Christmas soon. Look, we have spots in the ceiling. We have sockets in the walls. Charlie was here yesterday while I was on the other job. Excellent, thank you, Charlie. Enjoy your holiday. You won't watch this video. Look who else is back. Hey, how are you?
Right, you know.
Yeah, he's poorly back. Was you getting on or off the sun lounger? You hurt your back? Which one was it?
Getting off.
Getting off. Right, okay. He's rested up. He's a little bit better. We're going to now attempt to get this door out. And if it does come out in one piece, it will be on eBay by the end of the video. But we'll let you know. I won't promise anything yet. Right, let's get it sorted. Excellent. What we've got to do now, bead it, tape it, get the plasterers back in. And that is the plasterboarding done on this job. Oh, that took a while. However, it is now complete. And look what else is about to get completed because it arrived today. The bathroom. Start that next week. Well, that'll be in next week's episode. But a quick question for you. Acrylic shower tray. I've never fitted one before. I usually bed mine on a bed of mortar. Can't do it with these things. And it says in the instructions, yes, I've read them, to use silicone. So, to that end, do you recommend a silicone to stick that acrylic shower tray down onto a gypsum-based floor? Yeah, recommendations, please put it in the comments and we'll go from there. It sounds like I've got someone to blame and it all goes tits. Right then, I think we'll leave that one there, shall we? Good progress this week. Plastered, painted, boarded in there, things have been delivered, crack on. And I've also had a phone call today from the electrician who's going to come back next week and actually power this thing up. All this is cosmetic at the minute, you still got to get the cable back to the board. That's next week. And also, not that you can see it from here, so I don't know why I'm even doing it, they're going to start doing, the chippies are back, and I will be installing the roof over the porch and the canopy and all that kind of thing. We're motoring, we are motoring. So stay tuned. Plenty to come up with. There's some silly shorts throughout the week, just a bit of fun, don't worry about it. And yeah, we'll see ya, all being well, hopefully, next Sunday. Take care.